Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a good one for you. Guys, lately I've been hearing a few folks around talk about a lure that they've had very little success to no success with in their lifetime. And I just think it's an injustice. It's a good time of the year to be using it, an excellent time as a matter of fact, to catch big ones and just multiple fish. Guys, what lure am I talking about? It's available at all your stores. I mean, it's probably everybody's at least got one in their tackle box, whether they have confidence in it or not. And that lure is none other than a popper. Guys, if you have had trouble catching fish on a popper, or you haven't been able to consistently catch fish on a popper, this video is for you. Before I go any further though, I'd like to say, there has been a lot of drama on YouTube about YouTubers, pro fishermen YouTubers saying, you got to watch for this YouTube channel and that YouTube channel. They don't know what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah. Guys, I'm not a pro fisherman, but every season, consistently, time and time again, I can count on one hand how many times I'm going to get skunked. I catch multiple fish, as you've seen in some of the videos. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're huge. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't think the fish know that I'm a pro, or that you're a pro, or that guy's a pro. I don't think they even care. And honestly, I'm only doing this to help you guys catch more fish. On this channel, helping you guys catch more fish is all I care about. So if I'm giving tips, they work for me, they will work for you when you adapt it to your type of fishing in your lakes. Okay guys, so back to the poppers. So you have three different poppers. You have your regular style popper. Okay. You have your chugging style popper. Alright. And then I didn't bring it up, but you have a hybrid type popper. Rapala makes it, and I think there's a few others, but they have like a little cupped mouth in the front. Instead of being cupped inside, it's like a little cup that's glued onto it or whatever. And it's more of a spitting type popper. Okay, so now we covered the types of poppers. Now let's cover what a popper does. Okay, a popper mimics your bluegills, your shad, little bayfish coming up and eating bugs and stuff, making little noises, depending on the type of popper. Some might be mimicking like a dying baitfish. Some are more of a pop pop, which if you ever listen to like under mats and stuff, you'll hear like, that's bluegills sucking bugs and little microorganisms out of the grass. So that's what we're trying to mimic when we're using a popper. A popper is a very target-oriented bait. In other words, you want to fish it around like laydowns, backs of coves, rock transitions, riprap banks, brush piles, overhanging trees, dock pilings, around docks, all great places where you might find bluegill and stuff that would be feeding. All great places to use them. Now, I'll use a ghost colored, natural colored popper, like the Shimano World Pop here in the bluegill color. Usually in clear water situations, bluebird skies, things like that. I'll use a more opaque color like this Chug Norse. Usually when the water's more stained or I get overcast skies, low light conditions. So we know where we want to use them. The conditions usually are pretty simple. You want slick calm to very little ripples in the water when you're using a popper. The popper makes a disturbance on the water. If you got a lot of ripples in the water, it takes away from that disturbance, makes it harder for the fish to track. So you want it to be slick calm. Guys, I think a lot of yins are probably, the ones who are struggling, probably are working the popper a little too fast, or you're too mechanical. What do I mean by that? So, the way I like to work a popper, okay, I'll cast it out. Let it hit the water. It's going to make a bunch of ripples. I'm letting it there for 5 to 30 seconds because a lot of times it's going to draw fish in from a distance. I got to give them time to get there. Sometimes they're just going to come up and explode on it as soon as it hits the water. This happens. But you're not doing yourself any justice if as soon as it hits the water you start trying to work it. It's not a jerk bait. It's not a swim bait, guys. We got to give it time. Then, the other thing I like to do is after about 10, 15, 30 seconds, if I don't get a hit, I go pop, 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 pause. Okay? Another 5 to 30 seconds. No hit, pop, pop, pause. Again with the pause. No hit, pop, pause. Pop, pause. Pop, 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 pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, 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 pause. Okay, guys. So there, you see it. I'm mixing up my cadence, which is not going to be very mechanical, and it keeps fish guessing, and eventually they just come up and destroy it. So you might say, well, John, how long do I know it? When do I know how long is too long or whatever? Well, I'd start out slow because it is a slower retrieved lure. If you're not getting bites, then cut down the pause rate, okay, and try that. Another retrieve you could do is like a pop, pause, pop, pause. That's more mechanical, but it will work too. But it's all going to depend on what your fish in your water want at that particular day, and it will change from day to day to hour to hour. The other thing to try to remember, guys, is if everybody on your lake is throwing, say, medium-sized popper, okay, they're going to get used to this. They're going to get educated. They're not going to want to bite it. So what do you do then? Well, you can go with something like this little Wumpa, downsize. If you do not have BFS set up, you can use this on a spin casting reel, or you can go the opposite way and use something like this. This is the Megabass Pop X, or Megabass Pop Max. Okay, go the opposite way, go bigger. For most lakes, I'm going to start out in the standard size. Then I'll go smaller, bigger, whichever way the fish want me to go. But guys, mixing the cadence is key to getting more poppers, or more popping bites. Fish in the back of coves, mouths of creeks, down grass lines, over the top of grass. This time of the year, we're talking August, September, excellent time to use it. Grass is going to be dying back, so I'm going to be looking for the most green, still lively grass where it might still be holding fish. If it's like brown and dying away, the fish aren't going to be there. Down riprap banks, docks, laydowns, wood piles, rock transitions, maybe where it goes from rock to gravel, or rock to mud, or rock gravel to mud, whatever. All excellent places to find them. Having the right gear also plays into play here. So what I have is a 7-foot, this is a Dobbins Maverick rod here. Okay, you see that there's a Shimano World Pop already on it. It's a medium heavy, fast action rod. I want a little bit of back bend because if I get a big one around, say, a lay down or something, I want to be able to pull him towards me and not let him get wrapped up in that, brush. I put it with a Daiwa reel. This is a 7-to-5 gear 1 ratio. Do you need that? No. You could use a medium heavy spinning action rod. Oh, and it's a moderate action. What does that mean? So the moderate action is going to be more parabolic bending. It's going to bend down the blank more, where the medium heavy talks about the strength of the rod blank. So it's got more power, more stiffness in the lower end of the rod. But you definitely want a moderate action rod because it's treble hook bait. You don't want it to be flinging like a rubber band and fling that bait out. It's fast action. It's moderate fast. So it's going to bend down more in the rod blank, absorb more of that head shakes and stuff. But it's also a fast tip, so when I'm twitching, just the tip, you know, it'll start to flex in the tip higher. So it's not pulling that lure, so I can, in a very small space, and work that area, that strike zone, longer. On that reel there, I'm using 10-pound big game, Berkley big game monofilament line. Monofilament's key. If you try to use braid likes to, you know, get wrapped around the hooks and foul up. You could use braid to mono. I just go straight mono. Mono has stretch, but it's also stiff enough that it won't foul up on the hooks. Guys, that's pretty much it for the popper. I mean, it is an excellent lure this time of the year. It is a target-oriented lure. I mean, if you're just throwing it out into no man's land and hoping, well, you may or may not get bites, but if you want more bites more often, find the targets, fish the targets. Mess around with your cadence, your twitches, your pauses. Find out what those fish want at that particular time. Also, you know, experiment with different size poppers. Before we go, say like the Chug Norris. Now, when we got a little bit of ripple on the water, this is where this guy will come into play. He's going to push a lot more water, make a lot more disturbance, where the regular poppers will stop working. This guy will come into play. Chug Norris, Storm Chug Bug. If you want to go real old school, the Hula Popper from Arbogast, or Arbogast. I can't even pronounce the name, but anyhow, would be another chug style bait. But that's pretty much it for the popper, guys. Hopefully this has helped you. Hopefully this gets you some more fish, because this is the time of the year to get them on a popper, and it is always fun to watch a big bass, 4 or 5 pounder, come up and just destroy a top water. I mean, and if you're not ready for it, it'll make your heart jump into your throat. Alright guys, till next time, see you on the next one. Thanks.